So welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania. And as you can tell by the title, we're going to deal with poisonous plants. I'm going to start a new series on that. You asked for it, a number of people mentioned it, so I was thinking about it here and there, so I think we're going to start it. In fact, this morning, on my morning / run, jog, walk type thing that I do in the mornings, I saw a particular plant up here, passed a couple times, like, you know what, let's go ahead and start that series. So I'm going to walk up the road a ways here and see if we can find that plant again. So I'm not going to do a whole separate intro video to this series. I know that I do that sometimes, but I think this will be my intro video as long as talking about our first plant in this series. So we just have a little ways to walk up here to get to that plant. And of course you already know what it is by the title of the video. It's called Bittersweet Nightshade. These beautiful purple flowers. But unfortunately, a lot of these toxic poisonous plants also have medicinal properties. But in this series, I'm not going to focus on the medicinal uses. I mention them casually, but since the plant is toxic or poisonous, it's best just to leave it go from a medicinal perspective, unless you really know what you're doing. So we're just going to focus on the toxic or the poisonous traits of these plants. Just best to leave it that way. Alright, so I saw it growing right down here, and it still is. There you go, look at this. Those beautiful, like purple colored flowers. It is a vine. It will, see, kind of spreading out, it will, grow around things, but there you go. Bittersweet Nightshade. So I'm going to pick a couple of these, take them to a spot and do what I do, and we'll sit and talk about them. Alright, so here we go. Got the Bittersweet Nightshade. Got a scientific name down there. But a slightly quiet spot to sit and talk. You might hear a little bit of road traffic up there. Just the nature of the situation where I'm at the moment. Yeah, but once again, here is the Nightshade. Those purple flowers. I ended up bringing quite a bit more back with me than I intended. The whole plant. Like I said, it does act as a vine, but it has a bit of... It gets a bit woody though too. So the whole plant is considered to be toxic, especially the berries and the leaves. There's debates out there whether the stem is toxic or not. Some people use the stems for medicinal purposes, but like I said, I'm not really going to go into that so much in this series just because we're dealing with a plant that is more toxic, and if you use it incorrectly for medicinal purposes, it could have some pretty not so great side effects for you. So where does the name Bittersweet come from? Talk about nightshade. Actually, potatoes and tomatoes are in the nightshade family as well. Actually, the purple flowers on here resemble those of potatoes and tomatoes. Of course, potatoes tend to have more like whitish flowers, but and tomatoes have like yellowish flowers, but these are purple. The same family, I think it's one reason why people used to think tomatoes are poisonous, because they're a member of the nightshade family. Of course, that does have a nice little ring to it, nightshade. But the term bittersweet, these do produce red berries later in the summer into the fall. But they tend to be, well, not tend to be, they are very bitter tasting. I don't know that from experience, but they have a very bitter taste. But then they're said to have a kind of a sweet aftertaste. So that's where the term bittersweet comes from. And that bitter taste is probably why there's not too many poisonings from this, because if somebody does put it in their mouth to try and eat it or to taste it, it has a very bitter taste initially, and they'll just spit it out. Most people, when they encounter that bitter taste, they're not gonna let's wait to see if it turns sweet. They'll just spit it out right away. So most people who do try to taste it, end up just spitting it out without fully taking it in. But it does go by a bunch of other different names. Like I mentioned, Bittersweet Nightshade. I do have a few other names written down here. It goes by sometimes just bitter nightshade or climbing nightshade. Number of different words with the word nightshade in it. Blue bindweed, because the purple color intends to be a vine, and something called felonwort. I'm not sure where that comes from, but there was like 15 different names for this plant. So it's has quite a few. And it's not native to our area here in Pennsylvania or the US. I think it comes from Europe and Asia, but it was brought over by the settlers. And of course, with a name like Nightshade, it's going to evoke other uses as well. It was used, to help against witchcraft. There you go. I guess a name like, I feel like a name like Nightshade might, anyway. But yeah, it was used against witchcraft. against. I think they would make necklaces out of it and put it around yourself to help keep you safe from what they called the all-seeing eye, or they had different names for it. The evil eye, I think they called it. It's a big common thing in Pennsylvania Dutch folklore too. You know, someone giving you the evil eye and casting a spell or a curse on you. But if you had a necklace of Nightshade around your neck, or they put it on your cattle too and stuff like that, it would protect you from the evil eye. But anyway, I'm not gonna make a necklace of Nightshade anytime soon. But like I said, it is associated with protecting you from witchcraft as well. And since we're talking about something that's poisonous and toxic, we should talk about what some of the side effects are from eating the berries or partaking of another part of the plant. Vomiting and diarrhea are some of the main ones, but that's how it is with a lot of poisonous plants. Convulsions and slow breathing, some people have experienced. A truck going by up there. So, and then rarely death. I've read that it's not really the berry is not super toxic, but you know, some people might be more susceptible to that than others. But in some cases, it has caused death. Most people who partake of the berry will not experience like a full death situation. But like I said, maybe vomiting and diarrhea, convulsions. Who wants to have that kind of stuff anyway? But there you go. So if you see this, it's beautiful. I did pick some. I'll probably wash my hands when I get inside though. There you go, Bittersweet Nightshade. But let's just take another look at those flowers. I do like these. They are, purple is one of my favorite colors. I like the blues, purples, but they have a nice, hopefully the camera's focusing on that. Hold on a second. Yeah, but there you go. Bittersweet Nightshade. Beautiful, beautiful purple color to those flowers. So you can admire its beautiful deep purple flowers and its bright red berries in the fall, but it's best just to leave it where you see it. But that'll be it for this video then on Bittersweet Nightshade. I'll try to find some more poisonous plants for you, do some more videos on that. Because like I said, we're doing the edible and medicinal series, but it is good to do some videos on what some poisonous plants might be as well. So that'll be it, folks. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.